Shalom Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His word. And family, y'all already know that this is my favorite part of the week, where I'm able to address you, the royal family, by saying this. I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath. And once again, thank you for bringing this in with your brother this week. And y'all really don't have any idea how much of a privilege it really is for me, how much of an honor it really is for me to be able to say that to y'all every week. I'm telling you. And speaking of acknowledgement, King Greg, Queen Sharon, Prince Jordan, and Princess Peyton, welcome to the royal family. And family, please do me a favor. Please show them all the love in the world. Y'all know how we get down. Y'all know how we do. These beautiful individuals are our new family members to the royal family. And I want to personally thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And I love y'all, and thank you so much. And now, before we get into the lesson, last week we had a bit of an issue, didn't we? We had a little problem last week, which was hilarious to me. But for those of you that were not here last week, and we were doing this live, YouTube decided that they were going to become upset by the things that we were saying last week, all this truth and all this knowledge that was coming out last week, and they got so upset that they turned the lesson off. Just went ahead and cut it off. Just whip. So, of course, tonight, with us speaking about pride, I'm going to let you know right now, for those of you at YouTube that are watching, we are not wasting our time speaking about homosexuality, the LGBTQ community, and none of that stuff. That's not what we're here to talk about tonight. So you can go ahead and drop your guard and drop your defenses now. We don't have time to waste with BS, okay? We have other things. Pride is so much bigger than them taking the rainbow and putting pride over it. The Most High will deal with that. But the term pride is so much bigger than Christianity has ever taught you, and even some camps. So that's what we are going to dig in tonight. We are going to dig into the term pride, but before we do, family, we got a treat. And of course, that treat comes from none other than our musical ministry. And the person that started this whole thing off in the first place, when it comes to Radio Maliss, once again, our big brother, King Yada, with his newest single, Really Not.
All praise to the Most High. Yahushua name. Ruach HaKadosh. I see the ones who say they Jew, but they are really not. Revelation call them the synagogue of Satan. I see the one who say they Jew, but they are really not. I see the one who say they Jew, but they are really not. I see the ones who say they Jew, but they are really not. Revelation call them the synagogue of Satan. I see the ones who say they Jew, but they are really not. I see the one who say they Jew, but they are really not. I see the one who say they Jew, but they are really not. Chilling in the Holy Land, Jerusalem, trying to take a spot. But Jacob would never be consumed or be destroyed. Your word would never ever come back to him, boy. Or kill your people who were chosen by the Most High. Who touches up, touch the apple of his eye, they will surely die. Feed your enemy the long handle spoon. Satan truly near. I speaking to the carnal mind, and the man with the ear, just let him hear. Yes, they trying to destroy us, so they going after our babies. If they had their way, our black ass would be back in slavery. You better wake up, Jacob, because the target is us. The target is us. I see the ones who say they Jew, but they are really not. Revelation call them the synagogue of Satan. I see the one who say they Jew, but they are really not. I see the one who say they Jew, but they are really not. I see the ones who say...
I'm telling you, woo! The talent that's within Israel. And I'm telling you right now. And that song fits perfectly for what we are going to be speaking about here tonight as well, because of the pride of the people that King Yada was talking about. the Jewish, we're not to call them fake Jews, the Jewish. Because to be ish means to be like something. We are the Jews. They're the ish. And they have the nerve and the gall and the pride to steal our identities and to continue to try to live out. Talk about they are the children of Israel. Man, please. Yeah, whatever. So again, this falls right in. So now, family, please open your Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. And oh yes, we're going to get down here tonight. Now, before we jump into scripture, y'all know that I'm all about them definitions. So first, we're going to have to establish what the term pride means according to the scriptures. So of course, I'm going to go ahead and read this. Let's get the definition of pride before we jump in. Watch this, family. Watch this. What constitutes a proud person? The negative sense points to a sinful individual who shifts ultimate confidence from God to self. In the wisdom literature, the proud are distinct from the righteous and the humble. I want y'all to remember that. We're planting the seed that the prideful are distinct from the righteous and the humble. That's going to mean a lot here as we get in. Here, the term is applied to non-Israelites. Non-Israelites. So, who are non-Israelites? They're called heathens. They're called the other nations. The term pride and proud was not supposed to be on our people like that. And there was a big difference between being proud, meaning not ashamed, versus being a prideful person. As you see, the prideful person has to do with sin, a sinful person, a sinful nature. I'm going to read this part one more time. Here the term is applied to non-Israelites rather than to Israel. The Septuagint uses hyperphanos, meaning one who is insolent, presumptuous, or arrogant, a scoffer, or a mocker. There it is. That's what a proud person is, the prideful, according to the scriptural definition. So now with that being said, we learned about what pride is. Now we're going to come on some scriptures where we talk about not being ashamed. So let's see the term ashamed. Let's see what that means. Remember, we always got to build that foundation before we build up to make our points. Ashamed, embarrassed or guilty because of one's actions, characteristics, or associations. Reluctant to do something through fear or embarrassment or humiliation. You see that? See the difference between the two? All right, now let's go ahead and jump into some scriptures. So family, please, we are going to start this off with one of my favorites that you already know, Joel chapter 2, verse 27. Y'all should already know that was coming. Y'all should already know about that one. And y'all should know this one by heart by now, because I'm going to make sure that I stamp that on your brain. Because when you have some Christian or somebody from the other nations trying to come up to you and have a discussion that the scriptures are for everybody and for all nations, this is where you go to shut them down. All right, so let's go ahead and let me read this to you. Joel chapter 2 and verse 27. And ye shall know, speaking to the children of Israel, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. So now when we go back to the definition of ashamed, we should not be embarrassed, humiliated, or any of those terms to do what the Most High told us. We should never have any fear about keeping his commandments. regardless what the world says. The Father said, you do what I tell you to do. It's not going to line up with what the rest of the world does. You do what I tell you to do. You dress how I tell you to dress. You conduct yourself in a manner the way that I told you to. And it's not a suggestion either. All right, so that was that one. So now let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15, please. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. And let's see what it says here. Watch this. Study to shew thyself approved unto God. So what does that mean? Get in the book, read the scriptures, learn the commandments, and do them. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. The word of truth, meaning being in the scripture, in this book, reading what the commandments are, and you being able to decipher what the world says is correct versus what the Most High said is correct. Right here, study to show thyself approved unto God, not to man, but to the Most High. Not to your wife, not to your children, not to your friend, not to your coworkers, to the Most High. The Father sees that you're down here reading. The Father knows that you are applying his laws. Why? Because the sinful, he has his back turned to. He don't even hear their prayers. But he knows when you're praying because you're keeping the commandments. Don't ever be ashamed of that. All right? Now, let's go to Romans chapter 1 and verse 16, please. Romans chapter 1 and verse 16. And let's see what this says right here. Watch this. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, meaning to the man and woman that know that they are an Israelite and following the commandments, and also to the Greek. This is the Greek. It is speaking in regards to those Israelites that converted over to heathen nations that follow the world. That is what it's talking about. It is not talking about the Greeks, the Grecians. It is not talking about them. It is talking about the people that were living in Greece at that time and following their ways, their laws, their customs, doing what they did versus what the Most High told them to do. That's what it is. And we've had many lessons on that. So if anyone that is confused about that, there is a lesson called Gentile versus Gentiles. And you can look at that lesson and all of your questions will be answered in regards to that. Okay, so now that was there. Now, family, I want you to go to 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16, please. Now we are about to get down. The book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16. Ooh, there's going to be some mad people tonight, I guarantee you that. Oh, yeah. There could be some people pissed off tonight. Yeah, I know, I love that too. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Now, the Most High made sure John brought that out crystal clear. If you are not following the ways of the Most High, then you are of the world. I want to read this one more time. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. So when you have a Christian that's out there telling you that you no longer have to keep the law, that is the pride of life. He is not of the Most High. Point blank, period. She is not of the Most High. Point blank, period. The Most High laid this out perfectly. When you keep my laws, my statutes, and my commandments, you belong to me. If you don't, you belong to that world. And as we already know, as the Father said, if you are a friend of the world, you are an enemy to him. And the Most High already promised what he's going to do to all his enemies. We read it last week and the week before. And what was that? Slaughter, death, murder, annihilation, finish, done. That is the future for anybody that goes outside of what the Most High says if you're an Israelite. All right? So now let's go up. Jump up to verse 4. Same, 1 John chapter 2, verse 4. Watch this. And I read the first one on purpose. Now watch this, verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. That's pride. Straight up pride. Does that not sound like the Christian to you? Does that not sound like when you little idiot, stupid, ridiculous Christian pastors and people of his congregation? Where all over this book it says that we have to keep the commandments. And what do they say? No, we don't. The law was done away with. And then they come bold in your face and tell you that you don't have to keep the law. That's pride. That is in direct opposition of the Most High. Direct opposition. And we're going to get a great example of that later. Because there's a story that we're going to bring out. Many of you have read the story before, but you never read it in the context that we're going to read it here tonight. And I'm going to prove it. Mind you, when I say that, I'm going to prove it. All right? Now, let's go to Revelation chapter 21. The book of Revelation, chapter 21, go down to verse 8, please. Because we're about to talk about something here when it comes to pride. And I told y'all, this is where some people, they're going to get mad. They're going to be mad at me. Watch. Revelation chapter 21 and verse 8. I'm laughing because I already know what's going to happen. But the fearful, let's stop for a second. Fearful. Those who are ashamed to do what the Most High told them to do. Keep the law. And unbelieving. And the abominable. Remember that one. And murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, just like we just read. All liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So they don't even have to worry about the first resurrection because they won't be getting it. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, remember? They won't be getting that first resurrection. They're going to be coming back in the second. That's everybody out there in all of those false Christian denominations and all of these other false religions that mean absolutely nothing. There's only one God. There's only one Most High God of Israel. He's the only one that matters. And his Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are to be keeping the commandments that he gave, because he gave the law, statutes, and commandments to Israel. Okay. Now, remember abominable? Remember I told you to remember that word here a second ago? We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. And I can't even get on the sisters. It's not just the sisters, but there's a lot of brothers too, because there has been an influx of men wearing female clothing. Cross-dressing. That's what it is. Let's see what the Most High has to say about this. Now, Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. Please listen close. Listen close. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Now, we're not going to go back and forth with this here. I remember I did an extensive lesson on this one here. And what was that one called? Oh, crap. Disobedience. That's what it's called. For those of you that want an extensive lesson on whether or not women should wear pants, go watch that lesson. I'm going to let you know right now, you cannot wear pants if you are a woman in Israel. Black, Hispanic, and Native American women cannot wear pants. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. There it is. The Most High made it perfectly clear. You cross-dress, you follow what the world teaches, you follow their philosophy, you're going to die. That's second death. And what did it say in Revelation 21:8? That you have a reserved place in that lake of fire. Reserved, waiting for you. Because there are many, many sisters that will not come up out them pants. And you're going to die over some pants. That's pride. That is one of the biggest examples of pride that you can put out there. God said no, but I ain't listening to God. I say yes. Now you got our brothers out there. Do you know there's pictures floating around on social media right now where you have these little dudes that sagging their pants and they got on a pair of panties? I kid you not. Panties. Panties. These niggas wearing panties. We don't even have to get into all the cross-dressing, brothers. We done had lessons on that before. But it's pride. God says no. You say yes. Man. All right, let's go to Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 2. The book of Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 2. I'm telling y'all, can y'all imagine the discussions that's going to happen on the day of judgment? As a matter of fact, start at verse 1, please. Verse 1, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, there cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. You see that? The abominable, you see, it goes right back. It doesn't matter where you go in this book. It's all going to bring it back. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. The Father doesn't mention about the abominable. And here it says, I'm going to read it again one more time. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. Now, didn't the Father say that the Israelites are not supposed to be ashamed? Why comes the shame? Because we are not keeping his commandments. It's easy. This is such an easy formula to follow. But you had Christianity that came in and scrambled all that and started taking things out, saying, no, hey, this white Jesus over here, this white boy, he said we can do whatever we want. But the Yahushai that's actually in the scriptures, he says, nah, you gotta keep the commandments that my Father gave. I came here to teach you how to keep those commandments. And I did not come here to destroy any of them other than the laws of sacrifice. You no longer have to sacrifice animals because now he is the ultimate sacrifice. And along with that are tithes and offerings as well. Those things went away because Christ became the sacrifice. Pride, family, pride. Pride has everything to do with sin. But of course, the Christian church is not going to teach you that. Now, let's go over still. We're going to go to the book of Proverbs. And remember, the book of Proverbs is wisdom. It's all about wisdom. The book of Proverbs, chapter 16. And I want you to go down to verse 5, please. Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 5. And watch this, family. Look at this. This should be so clear to everybody. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Do you see a recurring theme here? Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. So what is this right here saying? All of the people, that includes, like, we got to start with that Christianity. We got to start there. What do? They're going to go and they're going to hold the hands of the nations, and they all gonna come and rock in, and we're gonna be going and skipping. Oh, all of us can be disobedient to the Most High. We don't give a damn about what he says. We don't care about him. We care about the white boy. The white boy said we can do whatever we want to. Yay, yay, run and skip, run and skip. What the Father say? Let's read this one more time. Watch this. Watch this. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination unto the Lord. So, what was the promise of the abomination? That their place is reserved in the lake of fire. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. That is a promise. The Father said they will not go unpunished. And what is the punishment? For sin, death. Finish. Finicioso. It's over. Done. And that's what many of you have to get in your mind with, because a lot of times, and I've been guilty about this in the past as well, he ain't gonna mind this. I've said that before. He ain't gonna mind this. And he'll let you know quick too. I remember there were times I was getting ready to go do something, and I remember I would bend down and boom, bust my head on something. You be seeing stars, and the first thing that come to my mind, that was the Most High, nigga, I done told you, don't play with me. That's your warning, boy. You got it. And the Father says warning after warning after warning. He is not playing with us, but the world acts like he is. That's the crazy part. They really, really do. But do you really see that culture of pride? And that's all around us. From Christianity to the alphabet soup community, all the way down to these other nations and their religions. Do you know that there's a such thing called coexist, where all of the religions of the world are all going to get together? And it's not the New World Order. Y'all have to stop thinking that the New World Order has to do with the other nations. No, the New World Order is when Christ comes in and we're ruling with him. That's the New World Order. So don't let anybody tell you any different. That is an uneducated individual. All right. Let's now go to Galatians chapter 6 and verse 3. The book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse 3. And now, do you see how we're going Old Testament, New Testament, New Testament, Old Testament? That we're going back and forth when we're taking the lines and making the connections? Click, 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 click. They all say the same thing. All say the same. You can't get around this. All right? One more time. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. What does that mean, family? Here you'll have this brother or sister, the term I like to call conscious, these conscious people. And they'll come trying to talk to you and try to educate you, but they sound so stupid, with something outside of the scriptures, but yet they have the answers. When indeed, the Father gave us all the answers right here in his book. And the Bible is 100% pure accuracy. It cannot be disproven. They've tried. Century after century, they've tried, and the Most High continues to prove his book through prophetic events. The Most High outsmarted everybody. He outsmarted them all. He said, when y'all going to try to prove me wrong, I'm going to allow something to happen that's going to prove me right. And our people should be seeing that. But the Christian church and all of these other denominations, that includes Jehovah's Witnesses and all of them, all that garbage, all that foolishness, that buffoonery. They don't teach what the Bible actually says. So the people that they have brainwashed, they're not seeing any of these things that are happening. But when you go right into the scriptures, as we do every week, and we bring these things out, and you see, it's right there in front of your face. But the pride in a man's heart is what leads him astray. Just like it says right here, I'm going to read it one more time. For if a man think of himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. The Father made it clear, nigga, you ain't fooling nobody but you. but your own dumb self. And you're going to die. You're going to die because of it. So now let's go to James chapter 4 and verse 6, please. The book of James chapter 4 and verse 6. Watch this. But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Now remember when we was talking about planting them seeds earlier? Remember? Who did it say was not prideful? The righteous and the humble. Now let's look at this again. But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud. And how do we know that? Because the Most High turned his back on sinners. Pride equals sin. Sin equals pride. But you see, they don't teach you that. They don't tell you that in Christianity. They don't. And I know y'all be thinking, you know what I'm saying, well, why does this man harp on Christianity so much? Why? Because it's evil. It truly is. It's evil. And a lot of our people are suffering from the effects of Christianity, all of these lies that have to be broken. And the only way to do it is by being in this book and actually bringing out the truth, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. There's no other way around it. We have to dismantle Christianity with the scriptures. Okay? Let's continue. Now, I want to let's go back. Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 13, please. The book of Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 13. Let's see what it says. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. I'm going to read that one more time. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Pride and arrogancy and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. We got to hate what the Most High hate. If the Father hates something, I hate it. If the Father hates something, you are supposed to hate it. So again, when you have this Christianity religion that's telling you to go outside of what the scriptures say, when it's telling you that you do not have to keep the law, when the book says you must keep the law, and for those that do keep the law will have right to the kingdom, anything outside of that, evil. So do I hate Christianity? Yes. All of the denominations. Anything that keeps my people from prospering, anything that keeps my people from obtaining the kingdom, yes, I hate. I can't stand it and always will. And until the day I die, nothing about that is going to change. Like I said back at the Royal Gathering, anybody that comes against the prosperity of my people is my enemy. I said it then and I mean it now, and I will always mean that. I don't care how you feel about it. Our people, according to the scriptures, are the greatest people on earth. According to Deuteronomy 7:6, Deuteronomy 14:2, we can name so many others. Well, that's just the bottom line to it. Our people are. And I'm not ashamed to say it. You can get mad at that all you want to. All right. So now let's go. Let's stay in the book of Proverbs. Go to chapter 16, please. The book of Proverbs, chapter 16. I want you to go down to verse 18. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18. Watch this, family. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. I'm bringing this one out here. This one, I want you to stamp this one right here. All right? We don't pour the whole bag of seeds with this one right here. I'm going to read it again. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Please, family, because we are about to get into something. Remember, I told you, I said we're going to have a story that we're going to break down. It's about to start right now. Please go to Genesis chapter 19. Woo! Yes, sir. Those of you who are studied in here, you know exactly what this story is. It is the story of Lot. The story of Lot. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to read this here because many of you never realized this about this story, but I'm not going to say anything yet. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to get into it first. Let's go. Genesis chapter 19. Let's start at verse 1. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, meaning evening. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. Now, many of you may be, like, hold on a second. What? Wait, this lesson has to do with pride. So wait a second. What? Didn't Lot see these men? Now, I want you to start using your imagination. Use your imagination. So here you have these 2 angels, these 2 brothers that are coming. And of course, you already know how the Bible describes angels, okay? They didn't come in that form. They came in the form of men. They came looking like us. They came in this form, as they do still to this very day. And Lot saw them, he saw them down the way or whatnot. And, he saw these 2 big niggas coming like, oh. Got up, ran over to him, fell down, put his head down, bowed his face down toward the ground. Okay? Verse 2. And he said, behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house and tarry all night. So here's what Lot is saying, like, all right, here, I know y'all probably had a long journey and everything. Y'all come in. Come in, take the load off, kick back, fall, chill. Tarry means to just fall back and just relax, just chill, to postpone. That's what it is. And wash your feet. Now, let me stop there for a second. Why did he tell them to wash their feet? Because when you entered into any place where the Most High is revered, a so-called temple of the Most High, and that can be your home, Lot was like, even the angels, y'all can't come on this holy ground right here with your feet dirty. You got to wash your feet. Come correct. That's why when Christianity tells you, come as you are, that's nonsense. Because our brothers and sisters knew when you step into their house where the Most High is being served, you got to come correct. And ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, speaking of the angels, and they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. All right, so let's take a look at this here. Let's break this down. Recap. So here the 2 angels came. They came to Lot. Lot saw them, ran up to him, told him, y'all come in here and come chill, fall back and everything. Y'all just come sit down, chill. Let's eat, let's converse and do all these things. The angel's like, nah, we got something to do. As a matter of fact, what we got to do, we're going to be out here all night doing it. We're going to be out here all night. Now, who sent the angels with that directive? The Most High did. That's in the Most High's plan. He sent them to do some work. Now, you may be thinking everything right now, there's nothing broken, right? There's no sin. No sin has taken place. Now, let's read the next. And he pressed upon them greatly. And they turned in unto him and entered into his house, and he made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. Stop. Family, where's the problem? The problem just occurred. What happened? I want you to use your brains. What happened? The Most High gave the 2 men, the angels, a directive. They told Lot, no, we got business to handle. And Lot said, nah. Lot told God, no, fall back. That is not what's going to happen right now. That is not the plan. Pride. What did we read earlier in the definition of pride? Do you remember what we read? When you take all confidence away from God and put it on yourself. This is one of the biggest acts of pride in these scriptures. So now let's continue reading. Let's see what happens. But before they laid down, the men of the city, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. So now, this is immediate judgment, family. Immediate judgment. What happened? So, Lot told the Most High that he had to wait. And the Most High said, no. This nigga is bold. Wait a minute. This nigga stopped my directive? This nigga just stopped my objective? Okay. Now remember, the Most High is in control of all spirits, all things. And remember what the scripture said? The Most High said that he creates evil. So now, what was this judgment that the Most High gave Lot? Watch this. Verse 5, watch this. And they called unto Lot. These are all these men that are surrounding, all these men from the city and from Sodom. They are all surrounding Lot's house. All these men outside. And watch what they say. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them. Now, of course, as you already know in the scriptures, to know them means to have sex with them. So all those men, can you imagine the spectacle that this was? That first and foremost, everybody saw these two brothers coming. And all were attracted to these brothers. All these men were attracted to these two brothers. And they said unto Lot, hey, bring them two niggas out here because we want to have a little fun with them. Let's see what the remainder of this is. Ooh, man, watch this. And Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him. So Lot he was a brave dude. Got to give him that. And said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. So right off the bat, Lot already knows that what's getting ready to go down right now is wicked. And all of this happened just like that. Just like that. Would that have happened if Lot would have allowed them to do what they were going to do? Nope. This is instant punishment. This is instant judgment that the Most High set on Lot. Nigga, how dare you stop my directive? But let's see. Watch. Let's continue seeing. Verse 8. Behold now, I have two daughters which have not known man. I got two virgin daughters, man. Come on. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. So let's break that down. So now Lot is like, yo, hold on a second. Yo. Nah, y'all not trying to get at these dudes like this. Remember, Lot knew who these two men were. They know exactly, he knew exactly who they were. He's like, yo, y'all ain't about to touch them. Yo, these are two men of the Most High. Yo, here go my daughters. Now, the thing about the daughters, we're going to learn a little bit later. I'm not going to get into it. But he said, yo, here are my two daughters. Yo, if y'all want to run up in them, run up in them. Go ahead. Watch what happens next. Verse 9. And they said, stand back. Like, nigga, move. And they said again, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. These dudes was like, Lot, nigga, listen. Either you gonna bring them two niggas out here so that we can go ahead and get at them, or we gonna take your booty. No. What just happened here? That's the judgment. So now the father was like, okay, this nigga wanna go ahead and stop my directive? And he called up them spirits and said, go down there and go threaten that nigga booty hole. Go. Right off the bat. But I'm telling you, it gets a hell of a lot more interesting when we read it. Watch. Watch this. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. So the angels have to go in there like, nigga, get in there. Close the door behind them. You can't get enough of this story, man. I'm telling you, this is what really happened. This is a 100% true story. 100% real. You can't make this up. All right, so let's continue. Verse 11. Let's see. Yes, verse 11. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. So you can see the lust, all the lust in this situation right now. They wanted them angels' booty so bad that even as they were blind, they trying to feel for the door to try to get into them. Pride. Don't get no more prideful than that. All right, verse 12. And the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and thy son and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord have sent us to destroy it. That was the directive that the Most High sent the angels to do. But Lot, in his pride, his haughtiness, told the Most High, nah, your plan gotta wait, because I want to chill with these angels, bring them into the house and feed them and all that. That's pride. That's pride. That's what that is. And it's pride because the angels told them, no, we're going to be out here in these streets. We got a job to do. I'm telling y'all, nobody ever looked at that story like that. That's exactly what it is. It's prideful. And I'm about to prove it right now. Right now, this very moment. Now, we're going to go down, jump all the way down. Go down to verse 34. As a matter of fact, let me see. No, start at verse 32. I want to read this one here. Because now we're going to talk about them nasty ass daughters. Now you're about to find out why Lot said, yo, nah, y'all take my daughters. Watch this. Verse 32. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. So now I want you to pay attention. I need you to think. Family, I need you to think. These two little nasty little hoes said, we're going to get our father drunk, and we're going to have sex with our father to preserve our father's seed. Nasty. Nasty. The scriptures say there cannot be any type of incestual relationships. Don't you ever believe anybody when they try to tell you that Adam and Eve, just those two, populated the world, because Genesis tells us completely otherwise. There were more people on this planet. These two little nasty hoes they got them drunk and laid with their father. Verse 33. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. They had him blasted. They had him out his mind, toe up. And they laid and they raped their daddy. There's no other way to put it. Verse 34. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. So the first little nasty hoe daughter told the other daughter, now you said, I did it. Now you gonna go lay with him next. Verse 35. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. So I want y'all have to understand this here. Lot already knew about his daughters. He knew the spirit in his daughters. That's their daddy. He knew. And that's why he told like, take my daughters. Go ahead. But y'all not about to touch these two niggas in here. Y'all ain't touching them. But my daughters, have at it. Verse 36. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. And that's the Chinese today. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Benami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. And that's the Japanese. And the father marked them with the eyes, the disfigured eyes, because as you already know, when you have two related strands of DNA that make children, you have a child that the world calls retarded. That's what the world calls it. Okay? And those Down syndrome children, they have those characteristics. And that is what the Most High marked the Chinese and the Japanese with. You can't get around this. You cannot get around this. But now we're going to go into the proving grounds right now. Because remember, Lot is the father of the Moabites and the Ammonites. So now I want you to go to Jeremiah chapter 48, please. Y'all gonna see I'm not lying. The book of Jeremiah chapter 48, and I want you to go down to verse 29. The book of Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 49. Watch this. We have heard the pride of Moab, their proud, prideful father, the one that told the Most High to wait. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceeding proud. His loftiness and his arrogancy and his pride and the haughtiness of his heart. We brought all of that out earlier. Did we or did we not? We brought every last piece of that out earlier. That's why I said plant the seed, family. Plant the seed. Lot was prideful, disgustingly prideful, and his damn children are too. They were born out of wickedness. They were born out of evil. Nasty. I'm going to read that one more time. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceeding proud. His loftiness and his arrogancy and his pride and the haughtiness of his heart. That is what the scriptures say. That is not my opinion. That is what the scriptures say. You get mad all you want to. All you want to. It's the truth. And now we're going to get a precept to that. I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 16, please. Because remember, we got to prove everything with Scripture. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Here it is right here, Isaiah chapter 16, and please go down to verse 6. Those people are sick. We have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, even of his haughtiness and his pride and his wrath, but his lies shall not be so. That's right. That's right. Y'all see this pride? Do y'all see how much further pride goes when you read the scriptures? Everybody want to pull out, don't say pride because you're talking about alphabet soup. You know? No. Pride has to do with sin. That's where we have to make sure we get down to. We have to teach our people. That's why the Father said they're going to be these proud people, they're going to be a lot of them that die. A whole bunch. So now let's go back to Jeremiah. We're going to go to chapter 49 this time. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49. Go down to verse 7, please. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 7. Now let's find out some more proud people. Let's see. Concerning Edom. Now, though, y'all should already know who that is. That's the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian, the red people. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? So now that we read that, we're going to jump down. I want you to go to verse 10. Watch this. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. The Most High letting Esau know, y'all got it coming when the judgment comes, just like Moab, just like Ammon, just like the 2/3, just like Tyre, just like all of these other nations that had their hand in the destruction of his chosen people. They all got it coming. And again, as you see, all of this pride are these heathen nations. It was never supposed to be us. Never. Let's continue. Verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, just like we've been talking about, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. So the Most High said he's going to take these prideful people. Remember, Esau, they are the children of the pride. He said, I'm going to take these prideful people and I'm going to make them the lowest of them all. The lowest. Because right now, Esau is riding high in his kingdom. But his kingdom is about to come to an end. And the Father said, out of all the heathens, he's going to take them and put them right back on the bottom where they belong. All praises to the Most High. I didn't say it, he did. You are reading the scripture. And if you want to get mad, then take it up with him. Verse 16, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. And the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. There it is. He's identifying exactly who it is again. The cave dwellers. Those of the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. You can't get around this. No matter how hard you try, you can't get around it. The Father right now is saying he's going to take all of those nations, and he's going to bring them down, and he's going to lay them out for stubble. You can't get around this. There will be no holding hands and skipping. That culture of pride is not going to happen. Christianity lied to you. That holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. This right here. Verse 16 is a precept to all of the book of Obadiah. Verse 17, and Edom shall be a desolation, and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Did we not just read about Sodom and Gomorrah? Do you see how all of this comes right back into each other and click? There's no getting around it. None. Verse 19, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong, but I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? You see, family, pride was never for Israel. That was never supposed to be about us. That was all for these heathen nations. And what do? We run after the heathen nations. We do what they do. We shop on Saturdays. And as you see, the Most High went ahead and took care of that a couple of weeks ago. He made it clear. Y'all better be in there keeping my commandments. I'm telling y'all, this issue of pride goes deep. And this is where you have to look in that mirror and you must evaluate yourself. Self-evaluation is not a big thing in Israel, and it needs to be. Even as Christ said, remember? Christ was like, wait a second. Why are you worrying about the splinter in somebody else's eye when you got a log in yours? He said a beam. You think about a big old telephone pole that's just sitting on your eye. You got that on yours, and yet you worrying about somebody with a little splinter, a little speck in theirs. And you know why? There's no self-evaluation. We always have our mindset fixed on everybody else when we should be looking inwards. What can I do to clean myself up? Because pride is a big, big thing. And on that day of judgment, whew, you're going to be hearing pride. When they calling out what people were dying over, pride, you better make sure that's not you. You better make sure it ain't you. You better go and check yourself. You better make sure that everything, every step that you do, you are walking in the light of the Most High. Study to show thyself approved. And if you don't, then you're going to die. I'm telling you, this book cannot be any more plain. This book cannot be any more simple. The Father gave his Israelites laws, statutes, and commandments. That is it. He gave us these laws, and he said, you're going to either keep my laws or I am going to kill you. That is the gist of the Bible. That's what it says. Keep my laws or die. He said, I'll have mercy on who I'll have mercy. But do you think for 1 second that he's going to have mercy on someone that just flat out did not keep any law whatsoever? Again, self-evaluation. Remember, we have to work out our own salvation. And pride is going to be something that a lot of us are not going to want to acknowledge. But it's very true. Once you acknowledge it, you know what? In this situation, I have been prideful. Fall back. You know what, Father? I was prideful. Please forgive me. And please give me the strength to repent of that so I don't have to do it anymore. If you're not having those type of talks with yourself in the mornings or wherever it is throughout the day, if you're not talking to the Most High and asking him to please help you repent from the things that you are not even aware of that you're doing, then you're wasting your time throughout the day. You better make sure that you're talking to the Father all the time. Pray without ceasing. Talk to him all the time. Father, please show me where I'm going wrong. Your salvation depends on it. Okay? Don't be like the Christian church where they sit there and tell you, hey, don't worry about it. All you got to do is just say that you believe in Jesus Christ and you have faith, and then everything is all taken care of just magically. Everything is gone. No. First and foremost, you have to have faith on Christ. All right? He is our ambassador. He is the person that goes to the Most High for us. So without Christ, you have nothing. Nothing at all. But why is Christ going to vouch for you? This is the stupidity of the Christian right here. Why would Christ vouch for you if you're still out there doing the wrong stuff? That's the whole purpose. So Christ is like, hold on, Father, listen, yes, this man was definitely a sinner. This woman was definitely a sinner. But they came into the knowledge of this truth and they started keeping the commandments. And yes, my stamp of approval is on this person. And the Most High is like, all right, well, my son accepts you. All right, well, go ahead, come on in. Boom. Your big brother vouched for you. All right, go ahead, come on. So does it make sense to do this? All you got to do is believe on Jesus Christ, as an idiot Christian says. And then everything's going to be cool. Go right back out to being a hoe. Go out there. That's male and female. Go right back. Go, yeah, be a hoe. Go ahead, go steal. You can do all that. That's right. Go out there and be incestual. Yeah, go out there and go be looking at them little boys and little girls so that you can go ahead and corrupt their minds and have your way with them. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and lie. You do all those things. Go ahead and steal, take some money. Ain't nobody gonna see that. But don't worry though. On that day, all these horrible things that you've done, Christ is going to vouch for you. How stupid is that? Do you see how completely asinine that really is when you really think about it? But yet, that is the mindset of the Christian. They believe that. And they want you to believe it. So that everybody can be comfortable in their sin. Pride, family, pride. You better make sure you don't get caught up in that. Because if you do, you are reserved for the lake of fire. Israel! I am so glad we were able to talk about this pride subject. And now knowing that you know better not to fall into it. You have this lesson here. You show whoever you need to show. But remember, self-evaluation. That's the whole takeaway from this. Make sure that you are not falling in the category of pride. Because if you do, as you already saw, the pride of the heart of thine heart is abominable to the Most High. And everything that is abominable to him is going into that lake of fire. And you don't want to be a part of that lake of fire. And you want to make sure that you try to do everything that you possibly can to help get your brothers and sisters out. If they want to continue living that lifestyle, let them go. Let them be. But as long as you told them, their blood is not on your hands, because we all have a job to do. We can't sit here and hear this word and be silent. We can't do that. All right? So you have to be out there putting the work in as well, because you're going to be judged on your work. You're going to be judged on it. So family, of course, y'all already know if y'all need to reach out to me, I am available on Instagram. Y'all can reach out. I will get back to you. Now, of course, people have been reaching out a lot more as our family continues to grow. So as quick as I was before, it is not as quick as it's going to be now. I mean, that's just natural. So please forgive me for anyone that has reached out to me and I have not got back to you. I will, okay? I will get back to you, but it's not going to be as quick. But family, I just want y'all to know I love y'all. I love each and every last one of y'all. And I just can't wait until the day that we have our next gathering. We're working on it. We're working on it, but we're going to allow the Most High to direct every last one of our steps. All right? We have to listen to his directive. And once again, family, I love y'all. Be safe this Sabbath. You enjoy your Sabbath. Rest up. Because guess what? You got a fight coming. And that fight is against pride. And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.